Okay, so moving on to the next step. We are working on a 1-point perspective drawing. That's why we have one vanishing point. Did you write vanishing point on your paper? And that vanishing point is always going to be on the horizon line. Did you draw a horizon line on your paper? Did you write horizon line on your paper? These are two words that we're going to be using all the time while we're working on 1-point perspective. Now, we're going to move on to the next step. You should work with a pencil. So go find a pencil. I am going to be using a Sharpie just so that it's really easy for you to see what I'm doing. Now, I'm also going to use a ruler to make my line straight. If you don't have a ruler, you can use anything with a straight edge. In fact, I'll use a straight edge. So, the next thing you need to do is identify which of your shapes are geometric shapes that have vertices or corners. So here I have a square that's got 4 corners, a rectangle with 4 corners, a triangle with 3, my heart has 1 corner right here, but my circle has no corners. Do y'all understand what I mean? So we're gonna go with not the curved shapes. Find your shapes that have corners first, because those are much easier to do this step with. What we're going to do is make these shapes look like they are receding back in space, meaning that they're going away from us and they are disappearing off into the distance. So I'm going to choose a corner to start with and draw a line from that corner to the vanishing point. Super simple, because this part is super simple. So with my straight edge, I'm going to line up the corner of my square with my vanishing point and draw a line. Boom. This type of line is called an orthogonal line. Let me spell that for you. O-R-T-H-O-G-O-N-A-L. Orthogonal lines. Those are the next type of lines that we're going to be using. So now here's my next corner. I'm going to line up my corner with the vanishing point, draw my line from my corner to my vanishing point. My next corner, line it up, corner to vanishing point. Boom. Now, this corner right here, if I were to line up that corner with my vanishing point, I would end up having to draw a line through that shape, and we don't want that. So that corner, we're gonna skip and leave it as is. So now my square looks like it's really long and disappearing off into the distance. And I'm gonna do the same thing for all of my shapes that have corners. From the corner to the vanishing point. From the corner to the vanishing point. Now shapes with curves, like my circle up here, they are a little bit more complicated. So let's just stick with all of our shapes that have vertices for right now. Our shapes that have corners. Any corner that you would have to draw a line through your shape, we skip. Some of your shapes, you might feel like they look a little strange, but if you follow these rules, from the corner to the vanishing point, draw an orthogonal line, then when you're done, it will look like it is showing depth and space, even if at first you think it looks a little weird. Now, my shape that's on my horizon line, this one, same rules apply, even though it's on the vanishing point. Now, what you'll notice is that shapes that are above the horizon line, like this triangle here, all the orthogonal lines are going down toward the vanishing point. Shapes like this one that are below the vanishing point, all of their lines, the orthogonals, are going up toward the vanishing point. But if you have a shape that is both above and below the horizon line, then you're going to have orthogonal lines that go up toward the vanishing point and down toward the vanishing point. And remember, corners that are the type you'd have to draw through your shape, we skip those. So keep going with your shapes that have corners. Let me know if you are confused at all. If yours is not looking right, then chances are the reason is because your orthogonal lines are not going to the vanishing point. All orthogonal lines need to be going to that one dot in the middle. Now, our next video, I'm going to talk about shapes that have curves.